Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. This is a quote from Ben Franklin. And the reason why we're starting today's video with this quote is we're going to be talking about should you be using Mailchimp or Klaviyo for your store, and why does everyone say that, oh yeah, you must use Klaviyo? And are they right? Like, is it actually better? All right, like Mailchimp seems to be cheaper, and all of these things. And as you guys know me, if you have listened to these episodes or watched them, is my structure to the videos. First of all, there is none, and secondly, it's not based on the algorithm. So I'm just going to tell you the answer. Okay? Yeah, just use Klaviyo. Here's a quick breakdown. This is going to be a very biased one because this one was created by Klaviyo, but it doesn't make it wrong or anything that they say is not untrue. So Klaviyo was initially built for e-commerce and retail marketers. They since then pivoted because they became a public company since then, and now it's like a CRM tool for B2C, marketplace automation. And it's not just e-commerce. Like, there was a time when you needed to have an e-commerce integration in Klaviyo. Okay, I used to work with this events company, and because we didn't have an e-commerce integration, they just suspended the account. This shouldn't happen anymore, but yeah. So that's just something to keep in mind. And the reason why the quote today is a failure to prepare is preparing to fail. I wanted to tell you a quick story of one of these clients. Okay, it was this client in Europe who was doing about $100 to $200,000 USD per month revenue, like pretty consistently. It was, let's say, fashion, print on demand, something like that. You can have like funny T-shirts and like put whatever text you want on the T-shirts and things of that nature. And they initially built their email ecosystem on Mailchimp, and the problem was that when we got on board, and they've been in business for many years, that means that they built um, automations and properties and custom stuff based on Mailchimp, but it's so limited that at some point it became a hindrance. And then we finally managed to convince them to move to Klaviyo, which cost them over $10,000 in terms of like moving all of the emails from A to B, because that, like, it's not just as simple as like a copy paste. A lot of those emails were designed, and where were the design files? Do we still have them? Like, we need to retrieve them. They were built like years and years ago. um, should they be redesigned? Should there be a rebuild? And they had a lot of flaws because they had a lot of products, and yeah, it was a complete disaster. And that means that if you are serious about e-commerce or serious about your business, the earlier you start with Klaviyo right now as we speak, the better. If you don't want to use Klaviyo for reasons such as, I mean, the only possible reason why you wouldn't want to use Klaviyo is pricing. Okay, like if you're really price sensitive, which, like if you want to build a business, then in the long run, it shouldn't really matter because it's still, you're getting a really good ROI. But I have recently worked with another Australian brand that's doing like 500K per month USD, and even they are thinking about switching because they pay like 5K to Klaviyo per month at their size, and it wouldn't make sense to reduce the list size by that much. And they also need to do SMS marketing, and they have an application as well, which means they're doing push notifications too with Klaviyo. Very important distinction, by the way, when it comes to push notifications, because like Klaviyo keeps talking about like push notifications, but it's only available if you have an app. Like I recently, uh, I, more recently than what I would like to admit, found out about this because I was brought up on like Pushout, for example, which is a push notifications tool. It's great if you're doing like drop shipping and you're like it's still a new store. And also, by the way, like Zara is doing it and all of the big companies are doing it. So why not you? It's kind of like a limiting belief about, oh, I don't want to be too annoying. Well, e-commerce is, a lot of it is annoying, and there's always going to be people complaining. You just gotta weigh up the pros and cons. Okay, like a lot of these tools that are being discussed here, email marketing, SMS marketing, push notifications, it's pretty annoying. Like, it's not the most attractive source of marketing, right? Like, if you're watching this video, this isn't the Don Draper on Madman Madison Avenue, like uh, attractive, creative stuff like for example, like meta ads, which is something that I like about this niche, is it's for practical individuals. Okay, like this stuff works. It's not the prettiest. People don't wake up in the morning looking forward to their emails, but it's kind of like our job to what's the word, to appear in the noise, or to like filter out the noise, like get through the cracks, like something like that. Okay, like whichever phrase works here. um Mailchimp has a very basic SMS feature, and it is not available outside of the US, whereas Klaviyo is currently available. This is actually good to know. So let me just list the countries, like especially for the podcast listeners here. So US, Canada, UK. I don't know what's IE. Uh, Ireland, maybe. um, DE is has to be Germany because Deutschland, or Denmark, or both. Like these countries are kind of weird. France, Australia, New Zealand, Austria, Spain. I think this is Switzerland, maybe. Switzerland, Netherlands. Okay, this is probably Denmark, which makes this one Germany. Norway, Sweden. What are these countries? Italy. Like I watch football. It shows up like when the World Cup is playing. Like those should be the names. Like it's pretty simple. Um, Italy, Portugal, Belgium, I would like to say. So basically, your main European countries and the big English speaking countries. Okay. Apart from, am I not seeing any of them? Probably like UK, and then after that Ireland. Yeah, it's what's IE as a country? This is something that you didn't come here for, but okay, Ireland. I was right. I was always right. Okay. Um. Yeah. So let's do the comparison from Zapier, which is a pretty objective. It should be objective. So, all right. So they've got ease of use. So both of them are rated 5 stars. So like, oh, for Klaviyo is 4 stars, Mailchimp is 5. Yeah, I would agree. Like Mailchimp is a lot more simple. It's dumbed down. Basically, by the way, like very simple example in e-commerce. In Mailchimp, you can do welcome series and abandoned cart, and that's it in terms of the flows. They might have upgraded it to something, maybe browse abandonment, but it's very limited. Okay, Klaviyo, you can do endless amount of flows. Expected date of next order, repeat customer purchase, VIP flow, any flow that is based on a segment. So if you have consumable products, that can be, really good. Pricing. So this is the weakness of Klaviyo. Um, Prices are actually pretty similar, but like at scale, Mailchimp will become slightly cheaper. I actually would argue that the main conversation these days is between Klaviyo and Brevo. Okay, so Brevo used to be called Sendinblue, I think, and they are really coming up. They have push notifications as well. They are much cheaper. It's realistically the only other alternative you should like. If you get anything out of this video, then it should be this. All right, leave Mailchimp alone. Like, don't do it. All right, and just use Klaviyo. But if you're really worried about, like, you research the numbers and you're really, really worried about the pricing, maybe you can give Brevo a shot. So take this advice with a grain of salt, because I managed so far like one account on Brevo, and we're partners. I'm also partners with Klaviyo, and I'm just a lot more uh, affluent when it comes to Klaviyo use. But maybe you can give it a shot. It's a little bit like in poker, where everyone was playing Texas Hold'em, and then what's the other one? The other main one, I forgot about it. And it's like a really big opportunity. If you can specialize in that one, it can be a really good competitive advantage for you. So we're going to be doing probably another video about Brevo later on, also probably when I will know more about it. But yeah, I manage the MailChimp account of a Fortune 500 company. If you really want to know which one it is, then contact me on, like, most YouTube videos will say, like, in the comments. You can comment for sure. Uh, Potentially better if you message me on Instagram or LinkedIn. There's a higher probability I will reply. All right, e-commerce. Klaviyo is better. 5 stars versus 3. MailChimp has fewer features, but good for smaller shops looking for an all in one e commerce and marketing solution, including email, SMS, websites, landing pages. Don't do your landing pages on MailChimp. I'm telling you, like use lead pages or any of the other click funnels. I don't know, like Funnelish. Use Funnelish. Okay. Funnelish is an amazing tool. You should definitely consider it, especially if you do dropshipping. Social posts and surveys. For surveys, just use SurveyMonkey or Typeform. There's so many survey forms. Yeah, it can be an all-in-one marketing solution, but not a great one. Okay. AI features. I'm very surprised that Klaviyo ranks 4 and MailChimp 5 out of this. With MailChimp, you can use AI to automate personalized campaigns, write content, and quickly generate on-brand designs. So I think it's a matter of time before the job of designers will end, mostly for the most part, and we might get the same thing as we did for copywriting with ChatGPT. But as of now, 2025, designers are still really, really valuable because design AI is not there yet, in my opinion. All right, and then Klaviyo AI. I was supposed to bring down the intonation there because the sentence was over. AI features. AI powers Klaviyo's predictive analytics. That's a really important one, which I don't think Mailchimp has, which is why I'm so surprised Mailchimp ranks higher than Klaviyo according to Zapier here. Expected date of next order flow. Okay, this one I've created a thing here. Yes, this is the slide I wanted to talk about. So this brand does consumable products, so like people buy them a lot. It's a coffee brand, and as you can see, expected date of next order flow is crushing it. Yes, the store isn't making that much money. It's in France actually, but watch this space. This flow would not be possible, in my understanding, or very, very difficult to build out from any of the other tools apart from Klaviyo. Okay, and they made like 1,300 euros in the last 30 days, which was actually a pretty big. Like these flows are doing above 20% of the revenue for this store. Yeah, it's not making that much money. Maybe this is also like making things more relatable. I love showing results like this one, which is another client of mine, 280K. But yeah, I'm working with some smaller ones too on a more ad hoc basis. So yeah, maybe this is something to keep in mind. This is the wrong screenshot. Expected next order flow, second biggest one. All right, let's go back to the comparisons. Integrations. So the two seem to be ranking similarly, but Klaviyo actually has better integrations for e-commerce solutions. So I actually recently worked with another tool called Email Octopus, which you can use if you do like informational products, or Omnisend is another good one for that one. Honestly, just don't use MailChimp unless you really like, if you're really certain for the next 5 to 10 years, you're only going to need, and email marketing isn't a big part of your journey, in which case you probably shouldn't listen to this video because it's very niche and specific. But if you're really certain you only need a welcome series and abandoned cart flow and some campaigns, and by the way, MailChimp's segmentation tool is terrible, just in my opinion. Klaviyo is a lot cleaner to segment, and you can segment based on a lot more things. But if you're really certain you only want a welcome series with 5 emails, then yeah, okay, cool. And Klaviyo is free until 150 subscribers. So if you're under that, and you're really price sensitive, just do Klaviyo, in my opinion. All right. We've got also coupon codes, which is going to be a topic for another video. Klaviyo can do static and unique coupon codes as well, and MailChimp can't. So you just need to always create them in Shopify or whatever e-commerce tool you're using. So yeah, I think the list goes on. I didn't want to bore you with all of the details, but yeah, I want this channel to be your like go-to for practical solutions where you actually get like practical answers. Like, okay, how many emails should I have in this flow? Like, which one should I use? So I'm not gonna say it depends. Just use Klaviyo, okay? And if you're really price sensitive, which you shouldn't be, it's like long term wise is gonna limit you, then you can consider Brevo, because they're really coming up. Okay, it's the upcoming, the unpopular solution. Maybe what you can do is like give it a shot with Brevo, and you're like, oh, like this is complicated. Then just do Klaviyo. If even Klaviyo is too complicated, I'm probably gonna do step-by-step guides. I've just been like not too excited to do them. There are plenty of other guys doing that, by the way, and probably I should too if I want to grow this YouTube channel. But maybe you can check out their videos about those until I create my ones. But yeah, if Klaviyo is too difficult for you, maybe just get better with technology. Okay, like Klaviyo isn't that difficult. All right, like you can learn it in a very reasonable amount of time. And if you can't, because you're old and you have a big business, then call me. Okay, just call me. That was a bit, that was it for this video. If you got this far, thank you so much. I love you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Once again, second video in a row where there was no plug until the very end. I would like you to truly appreciate that. Okay. Thanks so much. Love you. Have a great rest of your day. And make sure that you listen to the next video on cue. Should be coming up somewhere in the recommended ones. Ciao.